Good morning. Companies around the world are asking their employees to work from home. Some people like it, some people don't. Today's guest is Sidrah Nadeem. Sidrah is the marketing manager at the Culinaire Beyond company based in Bahrain. Sidrah, how are you doing?
Hi, Wael. Good morning, and thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well, and I want to personally thank you for including me in your hypothesis of the current situation to combat COVID and remote working.
Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. We were talking a little while ago in the waiting room, and I understood from you that you will start working from home from tomorrow.
Yes, our company, because of the company's size, as well as the excellent sanitation conditions, is one of the companies that's taken a little longer to start remote working. However, we've used this 1 week to practice and to solve any bottlenecks that may come along the way when human interaction may not be an option.
This is very interesting. I haven't heard this from anyone I've spoken to so far. So for the past how long you've been testing remote work? 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, for about 10 days now. We find it very necessary because a lot of times the challenges that come out of remote working are because we're ill-equipped to solving them. So we've tried to prepare for every situation that may go wrong. And now that we have a manual for every one of them, we're a lot more confident working from home.
This is very good. It's good to hear that. So starting from tomorrow, what are you going to do? How are you going to function from home?
Well, to be honest, it's almost exactly like we function anyway. It's just we're going to be sitting in, 16 different locations, and we're just not going to be meeting people face to face in person. Well, face to face I take back, because you have softwares like Zoom, which are a blessing. So if a new client wishes to have a meeting and they want to see you, they want to judge your facial expressions, that's totally possible as well. Yeah. The only difference is it requires a lot of discipline. So you've got to tell yourself, hey, I've got to look at that email, I've got to reply, I've got to pick up that phone call. Other than that, we see it as pretty much, just a change in the way we do things as opposed to, not doing things.
Okay, discipline, which is a key word. Okay,
yeah.
And I was talking to one of the CEOs yesterday, and in my discussion with him, he was so bragging about how he started the whole company in a paperless kind of organization. But at the same time, he was so much afraid of remote work. One of the things he mentioned to me that how am I going to manage my employees? How am I going to connect to my customers? Given the technology, given the gadgets he has, given everything, he was still concerned that people will not be able to adhere to working with discipline from home. So what do you think the companies can do to overcome that kind of fear?
Well, I think HR managers are going to be a little more particular when they're hiring people to begin with. And instead of asking perhaps questions like, are you familiar with remote working? They're going to change the way they hire. They're going to look for a growth mindset. So if you're adaptable to change, you're most likely able to be put into any mold and you'll be able to take on from where you start. My team is a young, dynamic Bahraini team, and we all understand that this is a temporary situation. So we look at it as an opportunity to learn a new way to do things as opposed to a deterrent to work.
It's a mindset. I totally agree with you. It all comes down to, what you know about remote working and your mindset in terms of what's happening now as well. Very good. So you mentioned that you will be using a number of tools to be able to collaborate with your team as well as connecting with your customers. What kind of tools are you having?
Yeah, so since we have a smaller company structure and we don't have too many financial details, we believe in using softwares like Google Hangouts, which is a lot more casual. You can start a document and someone can just take on from there. That's one. Zoom is excellent because it's formal, yet it's not so formal, and you can use it with new clients and old clients. CRM, for instance, for a lot of people, if people have been using CRM, this is what CRM has been preparing you for, and you should thank your lucky stars you have training.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And there are a lot of fantastic kind of applications, and some of them have been put for free, by the way. I mean, I understand that Microsoft is focusing on that. Zoom itself, I remember I read an article about the CEO having to enable the education system by giving it for free, just for learning from distance and so on. Very well. So what do you think companies can do in the future when this is all gone? And I believe coronavirus is not here to stay forever, even though it will finish sometime, in the near future, but still, this could happen again and again and again. So what companies can do to prepare themselves for the next outbreak or for the next challenge in any form?
So that's a great question. First of all, we see a couple of things happening with the current situation. We see, since we're making SOPs, we see documentation, a lot of documentation. We see classification of functions. And when that happens, we see a lot of removal of duplication of tasks, which is great for the company, and it increases efficiency for the company anyway. We also see a due focus on crisis management. So previously, crisis management is mostly, what if we run short of money, or what if we run short of, or what if there's a calamity, but no one's ever prepared for something like this. So I believe small and large companies are gonna, put some serious thought into getting a proper crisis management strategy ready for them. What we see companies doing is, like you mentioned, paperless, well, not really going 100% paperless, but considering reducing the amount of paper. Because that reduces you to a physical location. When you move on to softwares like CRM, you shift the focus to being solution-based as opposed to people-centric. That's the second change we see happening. We see also a design for a compensation plan that is more based on results and less on the number of hours. And you see the 80-20 rule go out the window. So I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with this, but 20% of the work, in most cases, end up doing 80% of the work of the company. But when you're on a system, when you're being moderated for the output as opposed to the number of hours, it completely changes the ballgame. So for a lot of people who've been complacent, they might not like remote working, but for people who genuinely like to add value to a company, this is a blessing.
Yeah, indeed. I totally agree with you. And how are you going to keep yourself motivated, productive, positive while working from home?
Well, a cup of coffee always helps. But other than that, I would stress on the mindset. I believe if you look at it as a different way of, I was giving you an example a little while ago. 5 of us were aiming to get the HALT Entrepreneurial Challenge, and we really wanted to present our idea for a startup in 2015. We started off in the same location, but towards the end, we were in 5 different countries. What kept us motivated is how excited we all were. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we were all excited about the project. We all believed in the idea. We all wanted to make this happen, and we wanted to go to Davos. And I think those are the soft skills that people need to be that people need to cultivate, and organizations need to focus on. It's not just about doing your numbers. It's not just about coming on time and leaving on time and making an Excel sheet. It's about creative thinking. It's about critical analysis, because you want to do it and because you want to add value to a company.
Certainly. Well, Sidrah, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you sharing your resilience during the time of coronavirus. I'm quite confident everyone will watch your video, will learn a lot from you. Thanks, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.